Chief Science Officer's personal log, stardate 55321.6. Our assignment in the Maelstrom continues, and the Sovereign has definitely seen her share of the conflict. Despite destroying the Cardassian shipyard, I'm still a bit unnerved. Who are these Keshok, and how closely are they working with the Cardassians? I haven't been able to get more than a glimpse of their technology, but what I've seen so far is impressive. Felix is convinced we haven't seen the last of them, and I, for one, wouldn't mind taking a closer look. Commander Larson feels I'll get that opportunity, but for some reason, I'm not entirely looking forward to it.
Incoming subspace transmission from Starfleet, sir.
The USS Geronimo is undergoing repairs after a skirmish with Cardassian forces during her last assignment. Their mission was to gather information on a Cardassian intelligence outpost, but they were discovered before they could locate their objective.
Sir, the Geronimo's docked at Starbase 12. She looks like she's been under heavy fire.
Captain, you will complete the Geronimo's mission. Starfleet intelligence believes the Cardassian outpost they were sent to investigate holds vital information. There are very few leads, but Captain McRae felt he was on the verge of discovering its coordinates. Use every means at your disposal to locate the outpost, and proceed to the site for reconnaissance. Report your findings to me at your earliest opportunity. Good luck. Liu out.
Captain, examination of the Geronimo's logs may provide some insight.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Bridge Commander, and it looks like McRae got the Geronimo shot to pieces, so now we've got to fix what he started. I mean, honestly, you can't keep your ship in one piece, McRae. That said, he does have an Akira, which said it's all forward firepower and not much in the way of defense, which is pretty much the way I think the McRae captains everything. So let's have a chat with Commander Data so that we can see what's in these logs, shall we?
His log goes into further detail. I will cue it to audio.
Captain's log. At 0600 we detected a Cardassian scout ship on course for the Prindle system. Passive sensors detected Cardassian activity near the inner planets, but we lost contact with the scout. I'm holding position near Prindle 5 till things quiet down a bit. Then we'll sneak in and have a look about. I believe we're close to our objective. There's too much activity in system. The Cardassians don't go mucking about for nothing.
That was Captain McRae's final entry.
He sounded pretty confident.
I agree. It's definitely worth scouting the Prindle system.
I've no idea why all Activision Star Trek games seem to love to have as broad an accent as possible on their captains, but McRae gets the traditional Irish accent on this one. Still, let's look in the Prendell system, and we're looking pretty much for an outpost which we can board and see what we can learn about the Keshok and the Cardassians. Interesting looking system. I do like how they make space so much more detailed in like the later versions of Star Trek, not just all black.
Not detecting any unusual readings, Captain.
My scopes are clean. Not so much as a whisper.
Captain McRae's logs were quite specific about the activity in the system.
Well, there's no activity now, Commander. If there's anyone there, they're hiding pretty well.
Maybe they packed up and left.
And they could be waiting for us to get closer before they ambush us.
You said yourself there's nothing going on, Felix.
That's the problem. It's too quiet.
McRae seemed confident there was something going on in this system. Maybe we should move on to one of the other planets and continue our search there.
I concur. If Captain McRae investigated the area, as his logs indicate, we may learn more of what transpired before the Geronimo was attacked.
Okay, so it looks completely empty at the moment. I mean, there is just the possibility that McRae was monstrously wrong, but, you know, let's assume for the moment that he was correct. And we'll keep warping in planet by planet, because I can't remember which planet was the one that we need to scan, because it's been a long time since I played this. So let's see what we can come up with. Come on, Miguel, show us something good.
This is interesting. Prendell 4's magnetic field is offset from its axis about 52 degrees. Oh, I'm not detecting any unusual activity, Captain.
You know what, Miguel? Sometimes I think that you're slightly
Yes, Captain.
how should I put this? Not concentrating on your important things. The fact that the magnetic field of the planet is off slightly, well, slightly interesting, is not what we're looking for. Anyway, Prendle 3. Is there anything here, Miguel? I
Initiating
mean,
scan.
could be anything. Come on.
Captain, I'm detecting some anomalous readings near Prendle 3's second moon.
I've added the new coordinates to the con, sir.
Okay, so something a little bit suspicious. Let's have a look. God, that's a long way away. Right, thank God for the intrasystem warp that we have here. So, while we're on the way there, we can have a little chat about what's happening with the Cardassians at the moment. You really wouldn't feel like they could get their fleet back in any sort of way, shape or form. Although I guess they would have had ships left from the final battle against the Federation. But there wasn't a huge amount left. I mean, the Dominion ordered a full retreat to Cardassia Prime, so you can't think there was too much left out of any of it. But yeah, it's a really strange one. You keep wondering how the Cardassians have rebuilt their fleet so quickly. But maybe the Federation has let them do a little bit for their own uses, and the Cardassians have been known to hide things away. There were probably some secret military bases no one knew about, even the Dominion. The Obsidian Order has ways of hiding things, even though they were pretty badly damaged by the Dominion, so maybe that's what's happened.
Captain, I'm picking up a new contact.
This could be what we're looking for. Miguel?
Hard to say, Commander. There's a lot of sensor interference.
I'm not detecting any other contacts. If we can get closer, we
Initiating
might get a
scan.
clearer picture.
I think we've found the outpost.
There's
Intercept
still some
force,
interference
our
with the
orders
From the
sensor
Admiral
scans.
are to
We'll have
investigate
to
the
move in
outpost
closer
further
to get a more
and gather as
accurate
much
reading.
information as possible.
Captain, I think we're clear of the interference. Shall I scan the target? Initiating scan. Minimal power readings. Main life support appears to be running on backup power. Most other major systems are offline. Sensors aren't picking up any life forms. Captain, sensors are picking up several
Red
distinct
alert,
energy
shields up.
patterns coming from the outpost. It almost looks like a power surge of some kind.
Captain, the station is powering its weapons. I think we've triggered some kind of defense system.
We have to neutralize the station's defenses before we can send anyone over to check it out.
Captain, I suggest we exercise caution when engaging the station. If the outpost is destroyed, any information it holds will be lost.
Yes, Data, and if I'm destroyed, anything that we're doing will be lost as well. So this is what happens when you're against a outpost and you have to fight it at close range. These things can really throw out firepower. I try my best to dodge the disruptors, but it's kind of hard to rotate when you're dealing with an outpost. This is probably the worst way to do it because you can actually see my starboard shield taking a beating there, but just rotating so I don't take all my damage on one shield. And this also means that when you do rotate, the disruptors start missing, and that definitely helps your survivability. The disruptors aren't that highly powered. One thing that I'm trying to do here by all this rotation is I'm trying to maintain fire on one shield arc, because if I can break through one shield arc, even at this, even though we're at close range here, if I break through the shield arc, that lets me get through to the power plant and to the disruptor cannons and various other things. In order for this fight to be over, you only need to hit the power plant. So I'm actually targeting the wrong thing. There we go, I'm now targeting the power plant. All you need to do is get that into the grey and the station will stop firing. I really need to rotate a bit here to get the station to stop concentrating on my forward shield. Also, I don't think I've changed my power settings here, so my torpedoes aren't rearming at the speed I need them to rearm at. Yeah, one of the consequences of moving quickly, I mean, fortunately the disruptors are missing because I'm moving quickly. See, they're not even getting close there, but one of the consequences of moving quickly is that you can't stay in the same shield arc. So I've kind of lost that advantage, but I think I can punch through the station's shields without too much worry. And maintaining my distance, I've maintained a bit of distance here, about 30 kilometers out. Disruptors get way more inaccurate the further away you are, especially if you're moving quickly. And you keep lateral movement up rather than forward movement. And there we go, the bottom shield's failed. So it's now time to just burn through the power plant, and this shouldn't take too long. You could use low intensity phases, but I prefer to use the high intensity ones, mainly just because you burn through the shields a lot quicker using full intensity phases. So you just have to be careful what you're locked onto. I appear to be locked onto the shield generators at the moment rather than the power plant, which isn't a very clever thing. Although I suppose taking out the shield generator is fine, and you might accidentally burn out the power plant once you get your angles sorted, like this one. You can see I'm actually shooting through the power plant.
The power plant has been disabled. The station's defenses have been neutralized.
The outpost is powering down, Captain.
My orders from Admiral Liu are to investigate the outpost when found. Any information we
Stand down
uncover
weapons.
is vital.
All stations, yellow alert. Security is standing by to assist you, sir. Select as many as you need for an away team.
Thank you, Commander. 2 should be sufficient.
Okay, so that wasn't really so bad, was it? And we get to go to yellow alert, which will recharge our power levels. And also I didn't put my shields up to 125%, so now I have done. And you'll see them recharging to max pretty quickly. So that didn't really do any sort of damage to us, to tell you the truth. And overall quite happy with how it went. Let's get Data over there.
Incoming message from Commander Data. On screen.
Commander Data reporting, Captain. The outpost is powered down, but I was able to tap into the information systems. They have been stripped of routine procedural codes, but that's all. It appears the Cardassians evacuated the station in a hurry. We are heading toward the engineering deck to attempt to bring main power back online. Captain, I will attempt to access the primary computer core. Apparently the Cardassians anticipated our arrival. The core is heavily encrypted. It could take some time to gain access.
Captain, I'm picking up 3 Galore-class vessels on an intercept course. They're attacking
Red
the
alert.
outpost, Captain.
Data to Sovereign. I am detecting nearby explosions. Please report.
Our Cardassian friends are back, Commander.
I need several more minutes to break the encryption code.
Captain, we can't let the Cardassians destroy the outpost. Maybe we can draw them off.
Yep, that's kind of the idea, but they do seem fairly intent on it at the moment. Fortunately, my attack earlier didn't take out the outpost shield generator, so we should be okay on this front. If I'd have taken out the outpost shield generator, we'd have been dealing with a lot of problems. You saw me select the outpost there and then select a new ship. That's one of the keyboard commands. I believe it's J. Once you've selected a target, and that is attack target targets attacker. So therefore I have I've actually safely pulled off all 3 of these Galores now, and that's something, if you desperately want to protect a ship, that's something that you can do, is just target their attacker. If you're playing a multiplayer game where you've got to protect one certain thing. And I don't think I've got my weapons up at 125%. This is something that you have to be careful of when you are... you have to be a little bit careful of it when you're switching between red and yellow alert. Okay, one of them's going after the outpost again. Obviously I didn't annoy it enough. Alright, so they're going to warp. Now let's see if I can get this guy's attention. Well, that might have got his attention. Yep, it did. Even though I missed with some of my shots. You think they'd get the hint at some point, the Cardassians, really, wouldn't you? That there's very little they can do to stop me actually doing anything here. Although, then again, you know, pig-headed, they didn't get the idea during multiple border conflicts, the fact the Klingons kicked the butts, you know, the fact the Maquis had them on the run as well. I mean, let's face it, the Maquis aren't exactly... Whoa! You know, it's like, let's face it, the Maquis aren't exactly a huge military organisation, are they? And they had the Cardassians on the run, so they obviously think themselves in a much higher place than they actually are. You see me targeting the warp engines here. I'm fed up with the Cardassians running away. Now, unfortunately, because the warp engines are on an exterior part of the ship, I believe they're towards the aft, that means that I have to be a bit more accurate with my torpedo fire. However, the additional advantage of that is that the warp engines tend not to be as well protected as another area of the ship, and in fact that is one tactic that you can use if you are up against a ship with very strong either forward or top shields. You can target an area of the ship that's towards the side, towards the port or starboard, where the weaker shields are, and that might get you to allow you to punch through. And the added advantage is if you destroy one of the warp engines, that pretty much you know, that knackers the ship big time if you destroy one of the warp engines. And you do get a nice effect where, certainly against a Federation ship, you can break one of the nacelles and have it fall off, and it just looks like the ship's just crippled. And that definitely does happen later in the game, and it's something that I'll show off.
Incoming message from Commander Data. On screen.
Stand down weapons. All stations,
I have
yellow
broken the
alert.
encryption sequence. Evidently, the Cardassians attempted to wipe their computer core's memory before they evacuated.
That would explain the encryption.
They were not entirely successful. It appears the Cardassians are focusing their efforts on the search for a device of some kind. Records indicate quite thorough research on the history of the Vesuvi star system, as well as the solar event that recently took place there.
Do you think there's a connection between this device and the Vesuvi event?
From what the Cardassian logs indicate, that would seem to be a reasonable conclusion. I am ready to transmit the remaining core memory to the Sovereign for further analysis.
Lowering shields for transport. Energizing. The away team has been transported back to the Sovereign, Captain.
I believe our mission has been successful, Captain. I will be taking some time to analyze the computer core information. As humans say, it looks like a gold mine.
Captain, I suggest we destroy the outpost. It might compromise the Federation's interests if anyone were to stumble across it.
Not quite sure how it would do that, Safi, but I'm quite happy to deliver the coup de grace. And this is just simply firing into the power plant. And yeah, I'll use a few photon torpedoes, although at this point I'm trying to see if I can burn through it using phasers only. I don't know why I'm being so stingy on torpedoes. Maybe I feel like I don't want to visit Starbase 12 again and have Commander Graf just give me an earful because I'm bringing in the Sovereign again. Like, most of his responses are quite courteous, but, you know, we get the bringing her in again, on a couple of occasions, so I'm just going to do this with phasers and save some of my torpedoes to try and avoid the sarcasm, as it were.
Outpost destroyed.
I've informed Admiral Yu of our progress. She's responding.
Commander Data, what information were you able to gather from the core?
Admiral, there are indications the Cardassians are conducting a focused search for some type of device. The information in the core indicates that the Cardassians suspect the Alioth system as its possible location.
Thank you, Commander. Captain, this discovery corroborates intelligence Starfleet discovered only recently. I cannot go into details over an unsecured channel. Return to Starbase 12 immediately, and I'll brief you then. Liu out.
Cancel red alert.
Yes, sir? Course laid in. Aye, aye. Incoming subspace transmission from Starfleet, sir.
We must move quickly. It is apparent the Cardassians have a significant lead in the search for the mysterious device mentioned in the computer logs you retrieved. Proceed at best speed to the Alioth system. All evidence points to this system as the location of the device they're searching for. Slip in quietly, locate and gather information on the device, then get out. You won't have any backup, and you will most definitely be outnumbered. Godspeed, Captain. You out.
What exactly are we looking for?
The outpost's logs indicated the device was silicon-based, with a potential density of over 20,000 kilograms per meters cubed.
That's pretty dense.
It is. That's about 8 times the minimum density of granite.
I have modified our sensors accordingly.
Your orders, sir.
And here comes one of the more frustrating missions in the game. And it's not frustrating in terms of... how can I put it? It's not frustrating in terms of difficulty of combat or anything like that, but you do have to be quite... you do have to be decent at starship maneuverability, because you have to avoid certain things, and that's something I'm definitely not good at. So this should be interesting for you guys to watch. So let's head into the Alioth system. Set sensors to maximum because they're going to be needed. And also I'm cranking up engines a little bit as well because that is definitely going to be needed. Because if we do find something, we're probably going to have to make a dash for it. Okay, here we are at Alioth.
Long-range sensors are detecting a heavy concentration of Cardassian activity in the system, sir.
We'll have a hard time staying undetected, Captain.
Maybe they haven't found the device yet.
Let's hope. Chief, what can we do to lower our visibility?
If we boost power to engines, we'd be detectable by the increased impulse engine emissions. As long as we don't boost power to the engines, I think I can keep our signature reduced.
We can lower the main shields and keep our weapon systems powered down. They'd detect us in an instant if we powered either one of those back up.
I would also advise against using any boosted scans to search for the device, Captain. That would most certainly reveal our position.
We'd have to maneuver into low orbit and use each planet to cover our sensor signatures.
Flying half-blind with an arm and a leg tied behind our back? Wonderful. Well, Captain, where should we start?
Captain, the Cardassians have set up a few satellites to orbit the planet. They appear to be continuously scanning its surface. Although their focus is on the planet's surface, I'd advise keeping a distance of greater than 50 kilometers, or we risk being detected.
We might be able to establish orbit, a safe distance in between the other satellites.
I've plotted several nav points around the planet that should keep us out of their detection range. We can fall back to these positions if we start to get a little too close.
So yes, you noticed a slight jump there. That's because you can end up flying blind around this system quite a lot, and I sort of know where this one is. But I targeted the satellites and they're far enough away for me not to be too worried about it. It's like 400 away. We don't need to worry about it too much. And when the other one comes into view, let's just see where that is. Right, that's a long way away as well, so we can just orbit the planet. And if you don't get in that position, if the satellites aren't miles away, you can often get into the idea of just orbit the planet, followed by, head out again to one of the nav points, followed by orbit the planet again. It can get a little bit frustrating, but this time we have got lucky and we're going to be able to establish standard orbit with one attempt. So that went as well as could be expected, considering, as Safi said, we're flying half blind with one arm tied behind our back. So great. Into standard orbit we go. Fantastic.
This planet is comprised of carbon rock with a nickel-iron core. The atmosphere is highly volatile, with methane, sulfides, and carbon monoxide. It suffers constant ionic storms and shows signs of recent meteor impacts. Wait, Captain, I'm picking up a faint energy source.
I agree. I cannot get a completely accurate reading, but the energy source originates from a silicate mass that appears to have impacted the surface recently.
An away team could check the readings.
Difficult, Commander. The ionic storms on the surface are interfering with our transporter signals. If we attempt to beam through it, whoever is in the matter stream may not be able to be reconstituted.
Then we'll send a shuttlecraft.
Commander, the intense radiation combined with the severity of the ionic storms makes me the only logical choice for this mission. The radiation levels will not affect me, and my positronic brain is shielded from such volatile energy sources. Once I have located the device, I can relay my findings to you.
We have little choice, Commander. You can launch from Shuttle Bay 1. I'd recommend bringing along a few pattern enhancers, just in case.
Narrowband communications should keep us in touch with you, sir, but we may not get a very strong signal through.
Understood.
Transmission from the shuttle, sir. On screen.
Data to Sovereign. I am approaching the planet's surface. The storm activity is buffeting the shuttle, but I should be able to land without incident. Data out.
Commander Data signaling again, Captain. It's a little garbled. I'll try to clean it up. On screen.
Sovereign, I am on the surface about to start my reconnaissance. I will report on my findings periodically.
Commander Data, sir. Voice only. The ionic storms are affecting the transmissions from the handheld unit.
Data to Sovereign. I believe I have located the energy source. It is emanating from a silicate-based probe of some kind that seems...
Captain, I'm reading multiple Cardassian warships closing on our position.
Incoming
Captain,
message from the
a
hostile
Cardassian
ship,
patrol
sir.
has just
On
entered
screen.
the area.
So, the Federation seeks to steal my prize? I think not, but my thanks for leading me to it. Unfortunately, your services are no longer required.
Get Data out of there, Chief. Emergency transport.
No good, Commander. Too much interference
Red
from the
alert,
storms.
shields
I
up.
can't get a lock.
Sovereign to Data. We've been detected by a large Cardassian strike force. Can you make it back to the ship?
Doubtful, Commander. You must get this information back to Starfleet. I will be safe here on the surface. The intense radiation should prevent any Cardassian forces from attempting to beam down.
Yes, sir.
I believe
Leaving
this device
orbit.
may have a direct link with the Vesuvi event. Therefore, it would be best if the Cardassians did not know I was here.
Captain, the Cardassians are closing on our position.
What do you wish to do, Commander Data?
If you destroy the satellites
Sir,
orbiting the
another
planet,
ship is on a collision
I can gather
course.
detailed information on the device without being detected. I can also position the shuttle to avoid further.
Understood.
I will await further contact. Data out.
We can't leave Commander Data behind.
We can't save him if we're dead, Mr. Diaz. Besides, the Commander's in a safer place than we are at the moment. We'll come back. Data can take care of himself for a short while.
Yeah, mistakes have definitely been made here. I should have gone for the other satellite first. I can't rotate through this.
Sir,
Come on, torpedoes, you've got to keep moving. These satellites can't take a lot of damage, so hopefully that one round of torpedoes is enough. Oh my god, they missed. Oh wow, that's terrible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this. I'm trying to keep rotating my shields as much as possible, but it's really difficult here. I should have gone for the other satellite first, because that would have... well, that's a spray of torpedoes if I've ever seen one. But look, everything's concentrating on one shield at this point, so I'm following those torpedoes in, going, come on. There we go, one satellite down. So, oh, it's on. Is it on the other side of the planet? I don't know if I can see. And you can see I'm taking a beating here. And why am I... yeah, I really stood still for way too long there. Oh God, come on, get the intercept course done. I'm getting absolutely massacred here. No, don't turn and fight. Turning and fight is a terrible idea. Mistakes have definitely been made here. This is a completely overwhelming force. I'm getting absolutely massacred. Come on. Concentrate on the satellite. I think this was an attempt of mine to get a line of sight between me and the satellite, because you can see the planet's in the way. Well, this isn't going well. I'm getting utterly destroyed. Well, my tractor beam's been disabled, that's fine. And 2 of my forward torpedo launchers are down. Alright, that little mini warp might just about get me the... separation that I need, and it has got all the fire onto a different shield, but... oh God, guys, unless you hurry with those torpedoes, I'm going to be space dust here. And now I'm in orbit of the planet as well, so I'm probably taking damage from the planet. Come on. The problem is, because my engines are seriously damaged as well, I can't turn at the right speed. So I'm trying to get a lock here, but the systems just aren't responding. There we go, lock established.
Time to leave, sir.
Oh, so lucky. Can we get the hell out of here now, please? I'm hoping my warp engines are online.
Course laid in.
Let's go.
I've informed Admiral Liu of our progress. She's responding.
Excellent work in locating the device, Captain. It's unfortunate you were not able to secure the area and retrieve Commander data. From what I know of him, the Commander is extremely resourceful and will find a way to survive. Rest assured, we will find a way to bring him home. In the meantime, see to your ship and crew until further orders. Liu out.
Well, that was an absolute disaster, but never mind. My ship is still in sort of one piece, and we'll try and fix it next time.